the channel, my friends. On today's video, we're going to be replacing the front lower ball joint on this Range Rover L322. Fairly simple procedure. Now, the issue that we have at high speeds above 60 miles per hour, you have a little bit of a wheel shake and a shudder while checking the front end. There's quite a bit of play on the lower ball joint on this. So I have a new lower control arm with the ball joint. So let's get this wheels off, get it on jack stands. Here we have the vehicle on jack stand with the wheel off. Now to remove the lower control arm and ball joint, there's only two bolts holding it. One is back here through the frame. That's a 21 millimeter, obviously goes right through, and there's a nut on the other side. So as we're taking it off, we'll have to have a wrench holding that nut while we're spinning that off. And then obviously the other one, which I've already loosened, is another 21 millimeter up here. We'll get that removed. And you will also have to remove the right height sensor, which is attached right here to the control arm. There is a 10 millimeter bolt on this side. We will have to hold the stud with a 10 millimeter wrench right here. And we can go through the other side with a 10 millimeter socket. And that will remove the 10 millimeter nut. Now we can go ahead and disconnect that from the control arm here. And that gets set aside. Now we'll go ahead and remove the bottom ball joint bolt, which is a 21 millimeter. I did spray it with some WD. That'll help if it's rusted a bit. I was able to remove the 21 millimeter nut right off the top of the ball joint, just using a wrench, the box end wrench, just like this. And to release the ball joint, I was able to hammer right here to release it. It does help putting a jack underneath. That'll put some pressure on that ball joint downwards to come out. It does also help to use some WD-40 or some type of penetrating oil. Now we can go ahead and remove our bolt here, and we should be able to remove the complete control arm. So with their 21 millimeter nut and bolt out of the control arm, that slips out just like so. Now we can see the play in the ball joint. If you move that up and down, you can feel that play in it. Obviously, we don't want to compare that to our new control arm. Now obviously you can just replace the ball joint, but it's easier to replace the complete control arm. Now this one looks to be original. Sometimes these bushings on this end do go bad. In my case, you can see that's a bit torn up here. So now when you are removing the nut for the ball joint here, you might run into a case where this whole shaft is spinning on you and the nut won't come off. You can try to put the jack directly underneath of this to give it some more pressure, or you can use an Allen wrench right in the center here. Sometimes they're 8 millimeter or 10 millimeter, depending on if they're original or aftermarket. You can try to hold it with that while you're spinning the nut off with the wrench. Go ahead and install this exactly how we took the other one out, putting that end in first and installing the ball joint in. So we have the lower control arm in position, the ball joint is in, and I have the nut hand tighten on there for now. Now I do have a jack right underneath the ball joint. Before tightening up the back bolt here on the bushing, you want to make sure the weight of the vehicle is on this ball joint and not just on the jack stand. So at this point I have the jack directly underneath and the vehicle is lifted off of the jack stand and the weight of the vehicle is on this here. Now we can go ahead and tighten up the bushing bolt here. We'll go ahead and get a right sensor right back on, and we'll get this buttoned up. I was able to button everything up. All the bolts are tight, and I did spray everything with surface shield or fluid film, just keeping things rust free for a while. So it's a fairly simple job. You can do it with basic tools. Now obviously it's a good idea to anti-seize all the bolts when you're putting them back in, so if you ever have to do it again, nothing's going to seize in. Disconnecting the battery is not a bad idea also. But at this point, all we got left to do is put the wheel back on, take the vehicle for a drive. Hopefully this video has helped someone out. There's quite a bit more we'll be doing to this truck. Keep tuned for more videos. I thank you for watching.